Okay, so today I finally came to terms with the fact that a lot of the fatigue I've been feeling over the last week or so is some sort of sickness. I'm definitely dealing with something, and getting myself to sit at the computer is kind of exhausting right now. So I'm kind of being gentle to myself and giving myself not too much. I didn't get too much done today. I worked again on this house track, and the first thing I built was this tail coming out of this section, kind of working on the neck section. If you listen to the last time I did this video, I think it was yesterday, there was kind of two sections to our drop. There was this section, and then there was this section, and then we started kind of building out the next section. So kind of play the main drop section here that we had last into this new section here. You can kind of hear where we're going. So yeah, kind of like coming down. This is definitely kind of like a peak point of fullness. Lots of sounds, the full melody happening in here. What was interesting was that this vocal. If I turn off this little chop we have here and just kind of pull this out, and you listen to this, you can kind of hear the vocal drops off at a point just because of the way I compressed it originally, and also just the way I recorded it originally. Right there, just like you hear like my voice, it just kind of stops. And even if I try to go back, to the original audio and like draw that tail out, just the way I sang it, it just kind of just drops off. I need to like kind of, but I do, and trail off a little bit more. I didn't. I just kind of went, but I do, and stopped singing. And so I needed a way to kind of deal with that cutoff there. Again, it just stops. I didn't want that. So what I ended up doing here was let's just undo that there, perfect. And I took the kind of like final moment and chopped it and then had it loop. And then from that loop, did a little bit of kind of like a gate on it, like kind of moment. And that left us with this sound here. I'm going to play the two of them together. I do. And it creates a nice, kind of thing for us to trail off. And so we kind of take that voice stopping and turn it into an effect, like an intended thing there. And then I put a shaper box on top of it that does two things. One, it just does a little bit of time shaping. I might turn this off, or I might just kind of like render it and put it in just like a few specific spots. But then also just slowly moves a high pass filter up, so it kind of like fades it out. Slowly thinning it out to kind of get the voice out of the mix here. And you can kind of hear that time shaper. That sort of sounds what the time shaper is doing. So it sounded pretty cool. After that, I was like, okay, well, what is going to be kind of grabbing this section here? And I still just love this original sound we made. I thought it was pretty cool. So I went in and put in some extra little notes here. You just heard these guys. Different over here. And then change those guys there a little bit as well, just to make them fit better. Just because they sounded right. They were the right notes. The problem is, though, they are getting cut off by the side chain, and I could move this out from behind the side chain if I wanted, but then the kick in general is going to get muddier, so maybe I play a second voice. This is a second channel, that just has that melody that have that be outside the side chain. And what I ended up doing instead was saying, hey, let's try to like make a sound to go with it there. And the sound I made, I think, is kind of butt. I think it's not very good. interesting. There's some cool things about it. This filter is just being moved around by this sample, the sample and hold randomizer. So it's got just a different band is coming through. This one is being moved by the key tracking. So that's just creating different spaces relative to the note we're playing. Kind of modulating this square wave here with this guy. Actually, no, we're modulating with this guy. It goes up and then down in the wavetable place. We've tried a few different waves, tried a few different voicings. Generally just didn't come up with anything that we thought was really cool. There's some delay, there's some distortion, some compression. Don't love this sound, but spent a while tinkering with it and then put it in the full mix. I was like, oh yeah, that's not good. So, 1,000 ways to not make a light bulb. Worked on the project. Found something that didn't work. I think I'll continue to tinker with this idea, though. I think the concept of like having something else come over and put those melodies in the spot, I think is a cool place. I do like that melody. So, yep, that's all we got time for today. I'm going to go to bed, going to try and get better. Thanks so much for watching. See you guys tomorrow. Bye-bye.